Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas. Thank you so much for joining us here. As always, it's Wednesday, so it's hump day. That's a good sign because the weekend is within sight and everything gets better around then, right? Isn't that right? Of course it's right. And I'm not just talking to myself.
I think he's fishing.
I'm talking to my co-host who's just out of camera, Mr. Don Longbeard, the big toe of the Paranormal Portal. How you doing, brother?
I wonder if I should get online and get a toe mask or something.
No, you should not.
Just put some jam on it.
I'm going to vote no on the toe mask. Just saying.
No toe mask and jam.
No. We'll just skip that part. But we hope you guys are doing great. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Wednesday and the first Paranormal Portal of the week. So I know I've been excited to be here. I hope you guys are as well. We've got a lot of fun things on the show tonight to cover. And Don's here, so what the hell?
Yeah, what the hell?
You know, Alexa's still noisy.
Do you want me to go shut her down?
Could you?
Alexa, shut the hell up.
I used to have it on my old phone that I could do it from here, but I've never reset it up. So all that technologies, folks, because we love technologies. And you know what else we love? We love all of you. So thank you all for joining us. And tonight's show is brought to you by a brand new cryptocurrency out there, folks. And I want to take just a minute to talk to you guys about it because this is a really exciting development. One that I think is going to be amazing. And because it's the first cryptocurrency to be at the heart of the cryptozoology field. And I think that's amazing. So, all right, I'll just dive into it here, folks. I've got a prepared message for you, and I'm going to try to deliver it to you as well as I can, which is it's kind of cool because this is the first one I've ever done. But this is one that I really believe in, and I'm really excited to share with you guys. And I shared about it on our social media as well. But let me just take a moment and do that. And all I can say is a lot of people are getting involved in cryptocurrencies. In the last week, the new coin has been released, and it's right up our alley. Cryptid coin is a brand new cryptocurrency whose mission is at the heart of the cryptozoology field. Everyone wishes they could have gotten in on the ground floor of all the other coins out there, and you know, we all look at those numbers flying and just think, oh man, if only I could have. Well, now's your chance because Cryptid coin is brand new, and it's spearheaded by our good friend, Mr. Stephen Majors of Extreme Expeditions Northwest LLC. And it's a brand new cryptocurrency designed to benefit the cryptid research around the world, not just in the U.S., but around the world. So, I mean, it's not just another crypto coin. It's going to, the proceeds of which, or some of the proceeds of which will definitely benefit expeditions looking for things like Bigfoot and Dogman. And we're going to get into some of the specifics now, if I can get my list to scroll here. And it's basically to build community among the global cryptid research community and to raise funding for cryptid research and investigation. To unite the cryptid community through a common cryptocurrency for the benefit of the community. The goal is to fund at least 2 research grants per year for cryptid research. And how they'll do that is they will liquidate some of the cryptid coins. 30% of the total volume of the coins will be placed in a trust specifically dedicated to the funding of cryptid research and investigation grants. And all I can tell you is to get on board now, because this is the ground floor, folks. This is the time when it's just taking off. And I can encourage you to go over to cryptidcoin.io. And that's on your screen right now over here. And you can learn about the coin and get a little more information and decide if this is the right move for you. But, again, it's one of those opportunities that it'll only come once. Like, let me tell you a story quickly about Bitcoin that I've been researching. Do you know the first transaction that ever happened with Bitcoin? The actual first transaction, at least legendarily, and I believe this is true. One of the people that had the Bitcoin, he put out a challenge. The first person that brings me a pizza gets 25 Bitcoin. And so some guy quick jumped in his car, ran over to Papa John's and brought a pizza to this guy and got 25 Bitcoin. Now with 25 Bitcoin, if you held on to that at today's value, it'd be right around $1 million. So, for a pizza. So I don't know about you guys, but I think this is an amazing opportunity. And the beauty of it is it's not just a normal investment like the other cryptocurrencies, but it's an opportunity to help fund something that we're all passionate about, the research, the bringing to the forefront things like the Bigfoot and the Dogman and other cryptids, even like Nessie over yonder. Not our listener Nessie, but the one in Loch Ness. So I think this is a great opportunity and one that I'm really proud to be a part of. So I hope you guys will check it out. Again, it's cryptidcoin.io, cryptid.io. Get more information, check it out, see if it's the right for you. Again, this isn't financial advice. This is just something that I'm really excited about, and I think it's an opportunity for many of us to take advantage of. So there you have it. I hope you guys will become a part of it. All right. So
there you go.
There we go,
Woo-hoo.
Don. That's Cryptid Coin. That's really cool. I'm really excited about that. What are the opportunities?
Oh, exactly.
I don't know. I think it's great. But we've got a lot of show yet to go for you folks. And this is going to be an epic night of news and a bunch of weirdness like we love to cover here on the show. And what do you mean to?
Yes.
You know you love the Portal, Don.
Yeah, obviously.
You know you love the news.
There's no news.
The news,
The
Don.
news.
It's
Let's
time
do
for
the news.
Let's do the news,
Let's
folks.
do the news.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Paranormal Portal News Desk. And we are excited to bring you the Paranormal Portal News. And the Paranormal Portal News is our news section where we, grab some news articles of the strange, weird, interesting, and cool. It's not always paranormal, but it's definitely usually not normal. And that's basically the definition of paranormal. So let's dive into some of these articles and see what we got here on deck. And the first one up, I think, is kind of exciting because this shows some of the work behind what's going on in our neighboring planet of Mars. And I don't know. Do you think there was life on Mars, Don?
I do.
So do I. And
I do.
apparently,
Absolutely.
it's now no longer a question. At least there was some kind of life there because, according to unexplained-mysteries.com, Curiosity rover finds possible evidence of life on Mars. I don't know if it's current life, but there was life. It says carbon associated with biological processes have been discovered in samples analyzed by the rover. It's the news everyone has been waiting to hear, possible evidence of ancient extraterrestrial life that scientists have speculated could once have thrived on Mars billions of years ago. But don't get too excited just yet because, as always with such discoveries, it's impossible to rule out alternative explanations, and it will take further study and possibly future missions to know for sure. The excitement surrounds the results of an analysis of powdered rock samples carried out by the rover's onboard sample analysis at Mars, or SAM.
Oh, jeez.
They call it SAM. That's Sample Analysis at Mars, or SAM.
Be more like Psalm.
SAM. Chemistry lab. The results indicate the presence of a type of carbon usually indicative of biological processes.
Like my stomach.
No, that's a biological anomaly.
No.
We're finding things on Mars that are tantalizingly interesting, but we would really need more evidence to say we've identified life, says NASA's Paul Mahaffey. So we're looking at what else could have caused the carbon signature we're seeing, if not life.
Hot dogs.
What?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. I think hot dogs were at one time part of life, weren't they? I mean, they no longer resemble life, but the key to determining whether or not the carbon is indicative of ancient alien life will be to take into account the differences between Earth and Mars. The hardest thing is letting go of Earth and letting go of that bias that we have and really trying to get into the fundamentals of chemistry and physics and environmental processes on Mars, says Goddard astrobiologist Jennifer L. Eigenbrody. Okay. We need to open our minds and think outside the box.
Yeah.
That's where we live, Don, is outside the box. So
Yeah, well, it's hard to contain all this sexiness.
Jesus. It is hard to contain. But we do it somehow, and still you remain in frame. I don't know how you pull it off.
Usually with never mind.
Just never mind. All
Let
right.
that one roll.
Let it die a peaceful death, Don. All right, the next one up on our newscast tonight is coming from unexplained-mysteries.com.
Wow.
And I forgot, did I change cameras? I did not. But I am now. Is bizarre video of flying deer goes viral.
What?
Yes, Don. Did you know deers could fly? Pigs can't fly yet, but apparently deer can.
I didn't know they could be viral either.
Maybe that's how they fly.
There you go.
I want what they got. No, I'm just kidding. All right, a video of a clip of a deer leaping so high in the air that it appears to be flying has emerged online this week. It says originally posted on Twitter by the Wild Lens Eco Foundation of India. The footage shows a young deer running up to a road, and then leaping several feet in the air before hurtling a considerable distance and eventually landing on its feet again in the foliage on the other side of the road. What's particularly remarkable is the sheer distance it manages to jump both vertically and horizontally, making it appear as though it is flying through the air. A man can be seen in the clip watching in awe at the animal's gymnastic capabilities.
I bet.
Yeah, social media users who viewed and commented on the video were understandably impressed, with many likening the clip to something out of a science fiction movie, The Matrix. And the gold medal for long and high jump goes to, wrote one user. Wow, never seen such a long jump from anybody, but this one is literally flying, wrote another. Well, that was a generic comment. Do we want to see it, Don?
Sure.
What? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I really was curious if you thought it was worthy of showing, but
Well,
I guess since we're talking about it.
We got all this time to kill. 2 hours,
Yeah, why not? Let's see what a deer looks like flying, shall we? Let me just do this, kill the sound. All right, and thank you for the big logo there. Watch the flying deer. There's a red circle down, otherwise we might not have caught it.
Yep.
Oh, nice. They're going to break it down into images for us. Yep.
Wow. Yeah,
That really is.
He's got some air.
He does. Jeez. Oh,
Oh,
here
here we
in
go.
real time. Oh, slow motion.
Slow-mo, but
It's slow motion, Don.
whoa, this guy, yeah,
at him.
wow.
Jeez, he really is cruising. He's like swimming in the air, like, ooh. You ever see those high jumpers? How, those long jumpers or
Yeah.
whatever in the Olympics?
Yep.
They like do those boundings, and then they boom, and they do that thing with their legs too, or like running in the air.
Right.
That's kind of what this guy's doing, isn't it? Man, you gotta admit that's
Watch him as he's starting to come down. He like throws his leg out there. He's like, whoa.
woo. That is incredible, though. That's a hell of a leap. I don't know how many times we have to watch it here, but that's a
Well, you can stop it at any
that's
time.
a leaping deer.
You
folks.
are in control.
I guess that is impressive,
Yeah,
though.
definitely.
That is really impressive.
You know what?
so-
You know what really sucks is that, like, with all this snow we get, we've never really thought about it before, but I mean, think of all these ditches we dig and all these, that don't just naturally. They do appear. You get crevices and
Sure.
chasms and things like this. But I mean, like on the side of the road, right? You got this ditch, right?
Right.
And so the deer jumps from one side to the other into this ditch, and we've got so much snow that they actually literally just like disappear.
Oh.
What happens to them? I mean,
They're trapped.
Do they die there? I mean,
You got to wonder, though. I mean, if
Yeah.
it's a lot of snow, could they
Yeah.
indeed really get stuck, or would they be able to?
I don't know. Well, it's like my dog. My dog, you know how I've got the steps up to the door, and then I've got that, and it drops down. Well, I've got enough snow that my dog is literally just walking outside, stepping up onto the little wall there,
Yeah.
and just walks right out.
Oh,
onto
really?
The snow. Yeah.
It's hard enough that he can
Yeah.
stand there.
Yeah, she just
Oh.
walks right out there.
Wow.
But when it first started coming down, she went running out there and jumped off one day, disappeared. It's like, where'd she go? She's
Oh,
not
that's funny.
white, so she didn't blend in.
Oh,
So,
but she's
yeah.
just gone. There's just that much snow.
Yeah, just that much snow.
That is interesting. Yeah, I guess it's part of those North Idaho winters. Lots of snow, folks.
They say these short winters started in the 70s, and now they're coming back around. But because we used to get like 8 feet.
Oh,
back in
really?
the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Yeah.
8 feet?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell do you do with 8 feet of snow?
Nothing.
You just dig tunnels, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's about it, right?
It's like, hey, look, it's a nice wall. I'm going to paint that one. I'm going to make that an accent wall.
Yeah.
Paint that one blue and that one red.
You got extra rooms dug out in the backyard.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, the walls look like they're igloo.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
8 feet of snow.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 feet was plenty. I'm good.
Yeah.
Till never again. But here's a question I think that comes up a lot, and I've heard this one through the years, but I don't think that they're actually checking out the right bug,
Right.
the right insect. I guess they're not arachnid.
Arachnids.
Yeah, it's arachnids. These are not insects. But have y'all ever heard the daddy longlegs is the most poisonous insect in the world?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I have too. But there is apparently a couple versions that I guess qualify as daddy longlegs. The ones that I knew of were like the little, I don't know, they almost look like hockey pucks with those long legs. Like they didn't really have a head and thorax and abdomen. And those were the ones we called daddy longlegs back in Minnesota. But now I see like there's these cave-like spiders that have really gangly legs that people call daddy longlegs as well. So as I grew up hearing about the daddy longlegs and thinking of those little, little circles with long spindly legs, and it's actually an insect. It really isn't an arachnid, but there's an arachnid version, I guess, as well. But the one that they're showing, I don't think is the right one.
That's what I've always known, right
That
there.
is? Okay. Yeah,
That's
the
a
one.
daddy longleg.
What the hell? I'm going to pull up a picture of the ones that I knew. I'll put it on screen for you guys so you guys can see it. But is the daddy longlegs really the world's most venomous spider? But what we had was not insect daddy longlegs. And not that it's that important, but yeah, this is what I grew up with, this thing. Not this one, though. Where I got to find it now.
Oh, you know what? Actually,
Yeah, this is the one.
yeah, you're right. That actually looks like what we call a mosquito hawk without wings.
These?
This here.
Oh, this, yeah. Yeah, these are like a
Now that I
cave
look
spider.
at it, yeah, that's.
I've seen these, and I had those in my old houses.
But those are what I know as daddy long legs.
But,
Those right there.
yeah, these are what I always knew. They're just these circles
Yeah.
like this, and they had these long spindly legs.
Right.
But apparently, when they're researching, they're looking at this thing, which is literally a spider. This is actually an insect, because two of the appendages that look like legs are actually part of the mouth or something. Apparently.
Oh, mandibles. Yeah.
Yeah, mandibles.
Because,
Yep.
yeah.
So, and they have two fangs as well. But anyway, these things do hunt spiders, and I guess so do these. So maybe that's the confusion.
That's weird.
That is weird. Okay, so now that we've got that identified, the two variations, let's read what they say here. It's a claim that's been doing the rounds for years, but just how accurate is it? According to the urban legend, the daddy longlegs is the most venomous spider on the earth, but its fangs are so small that it's unable to actually bite you. In reality, however, there's a lot wrong with this idea. First of all, we have to define exactly what type of animal we're talking about.
Right.
The name daddy longlegs can be used to refer to several different critters, not all of which being spiders.
Oh.
There you go. Okay. In some places, such as the UK, daddy longlegs is a name typically given to a large type of crane fly that can often be found flitting around the house during the summer months. Unsurprisingly, it's completely harmless to humans and, of course, isn't actually a spider at all. The name can also be assigned to a harvestman, a type of arachnid, so we're getting closer. However, it doesn't actually have any fangs or venom glands. In fact, the only creature referred to as daddy longlegs that is actually a venomous, spider is a cellar spider, an arachnid that has very long legs and fangs similar to those of a brown recluse. But does it have the most venomous bite on Earth? The answer is simply no. It doesn't. While it can bite, it's not particularly dangerous, and there are spiders with far more potent venom than a cellar spider. In other words, the idea that daddy longlegs is the most venomous spider on Earth is nonsense. So there you go. This one is not. However, I don't know if the other one that I was showing you guys actually has venom or not. But again, that's what I grew up hearing.
Yeah, that looks like what we used to call as a mosquito hawk,
This.
right? Without wings, like
Without
somebody
wings,
pulled
yeah.
them off.
Yeah.
Because that's an insect.
Right. And I think I even have these here in this house, like this long
Right.
spindly leg types.
Right.
And then I got these really fast ones. They're pretty big, but they're fast. They'll shoot across the floor. Those things are creepy. I always let them outside. When I get them, I don't smash them or anything, but still, because they eat insects. So
Yeah, well.
I like insect spiders, so they win the food chain battle.
Yeah.
So I let them outside so they can continue to do their damage, except not in winter. But I don't really see spiders in the winter too much here. So enough about me. I don't know why I got all autobiographical there, but anyway, just thought I'd share because we're kind of like a family. It's kind of like catching up
Exactly. Yeah.
after a little time. But anyway, that's an interesting article. But that is not true, I guess. In any case, let's go to the next one, and this is this one. This one is a Bigfoot story. Yeah, this one I pulled up earlier. I was like, "Ooh, we got to talk about this," because apparently, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of cryptids and cryptid coins, well, this is what the cryptid coin investment will help to fund, is looking for Bigfoot. So let's see what's going on here. Snowboarder encountered Bigfoot in Colorado Rockies. A British man who's been snowboarding in the Rockies observed a mysterious bipedal creature. The man, who hails from Northumberland, England, has been invited to Aspen, Colorado by a friend to do some snowboarding back in 2007 when an encounter occurred. On one particular occasion, he'd been out on a remote part of the region at nightfall waiting for his friend to return from an errand when he spotted someone or something up ahead of him. At first, I thought it was a bear as it was big and it was moving quickly, he wrote. Whatever I was seeing moved with the slope of a walk. A slope of a walk? I don't know what that means. I soon realized it wasn't a bear. I thought it looked like a big man wearing a large overcoat with the collar turned up. A sense of fear suddenly came over him as he continued watching. The individual suddenly took a 45-degree turn to the right and walked into the snow field towards the trees, he wrote. It didn't slow down despite walking through 3 feet of snow, something which would have almost stopped me dead in my tracks. At the time, I didn't hear or smell anything. This thing was big, though, but it would be hard to gauge its exact dimensions in the distance between us. I had only been stopped for about a minute, but it seemed like an hour standing there. Terrified, the man took the decision to flee the scene and skidded off on his snowboard down the slope as fast as he could go, not stopping until he had reached safety. Even today, more than 10 years after the encounter, the exact nature of the figure he witnessed that night continues to remain a total mystery. Well, I don't know what other big bipedal creature, other than people, can walk through 3 feet of snow without slowing down.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's the kicker, because I'm telling you, I got about 2 feet in my backyard here,
Right.
and I had to walk to my garage, and it about killed me. I mean, seriously, I was laying out there like a minnow out of water. I was like falling over and stuff. It was just stupid. So I don't know. 3 feet of snow is an awful lot of snow.
Yeah, exactly.
And this thing didn't even slow down.
Right.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
If you not walk through a bit deep snow, folks, let me just tell you, it's like having somebody grabbing onto your legs every part of your step.
Yep.
Like you're having to fight through the big, pressure the whole way. And you don't move very fast.
It's like having a 5-year-old, on each leg.
It's like having a toddler strapped to each leg.
God.
I guess that's a good way to put it. But yeah, it's not easy. So the fact that that happened, I that was with me with 2 feet of snow. So
Right. Yep.
I don't know what it would be with more.
Well, my driveway's 2 inches of ice.
Oh, I can believe that.
Gosh.
Yeah. All this melting that's been going
Yeah.
on. Yeah. It just got all packed.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
It got packed to the point of stupid.
Oh man, yeah, that's bad.
All right. The next one up and this is our last. No, I got one more after this. One more after this in the newscast. And this is a town in Japan from unexplained-mysteries.com. Mysterious town in Japan is obsessed with UFOs and aliens. That's always good. And they're going right to this is from Vice, I guess. Small Japanese town as a UFO hotspot.
Ah,
Very nice. Looks like that guy's got a picture. I'm not going to show this clip because that's owned by Vice World News, and I don't want them to be upset with me.
well, we're Paranormal Portal World News.
Right, but I don't have their permission. So, with a population of
Damn
just
their
about 1,900, the small and curious town of Lino lies just outside of, or is that no?
I think it's Aino.
Aino? Okay. Yeah, I guess that's not an L, is it? Aino lies just outside of Fukushima City. Wow.
Wow. Gosh.
I bet they're seeing lots of weird stuff over there.
Yeah, I mean,
No offense. I mean, that's an utter disaster over there. But, I don't know. Wow. It would be fair to say that, Aino, with its abandoned buildings and roads that lead to nowhere, had seen better days. However, there is one subject that continues to put this quaint little town on the map. Stories of UFO sightings and close encounters with otherworldly visitors have frequented the town for decades. So much so that statues of UFOs can be found all along its streets, and even its official mascot is a small white alien piloting a golden flying saucer. UFO researcher Sugio Kinoshita, who has spent years investigating the phenomenon, claims that he saw his first UFO in 1972 when hiking in Fukushima Prefecture with some friends. This thing stuck out in front of me, he told Vice, starting and stopping in the blue sky. Then all of a sudden, it was gone. When the Japanese government launched new protocols to investigate the UFOs phenomena in 2020, Aino opened up its first ever lab dedicated to observing UFOs in the skies over the area. Sadly, though, with its rapid declining population, especially following the Fukushima nuclear disaster, there is a risk that the town could one day end up completely abandoned. If so, it will be a sad end to one of ufology's most intriguing curiosities. Now, that's interesting. Again, this is UFO activity, a lot of it. And this is always cited very commonly around nuclear energy plants and nuclear weapons storages.
Right.
I mean, that's really, really common. So that's interesting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it is for
You
sure.
know, and we've had, like you said, we've had those reports of them, around anything nuclear,
Right.
And
Yep.
so, that makes sense.
If you want a UFO, stick around. You better grab some uranium.
You better grab uranium because Uranus is good. Sorry.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Oh, I most certainly did. Because I is broken.
Yeah, Donna is broken, folks. So we can't be held accountable for that because...
Oh, MCAT, no. A John Deere with the front snow blower.
Ooh, what?
You dirty guy.
You got one?
No, I'm looking at one.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the show. All right, so there you have it, folks. We got one more article to go in our newscast, and then we'll continue on into the world of the paranormal, which, you know, is a good world.
Some people are out there going, it's about damn time.
Oh, really?
No, not really.
They're tired of the news?
No.
Oh, okay. Don't tell me that, dude. I'll be like, oh, what?
I'm joking.
Okay, not funny. All right, not funny meter. All right, here's the last one for the night. Unexplained-mysteries.com. An entire road has been stolen in Germany.
What?
Yes, you heard it right. An entire road was stolen in Germany. A bizarre crime involving the theft of an entire street in Saxony, Germany, has left authorities scratching their heads. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
According to reports, around 60 tons of cobblestones worth 30,000 euros
Is that it?
were removed from a road in the city of Zittau. I don't know, Zittau, okay, before being hauled off by unknown perpetrators.
They do this in the cover of night?
I guess so. I don't know. The crime, which is thought to have taken place at some point between the 16th and 23rd of December 2021, is now being investigated by local law enforcement. How do you get rid of a whole road without nobody knowing?
Well, and sometime between. It's like nobody noticed. You know, they've got a time frame, not a day. They have a time frame.
I know they got like what, 8 days of possibility
yeah, exactly,
here.
yeah.
Did nobody like drive by?
Nobody. No, hey, there's a new pothole. I would have never noticed.
It is believed that the culprits had brought heavy equipment, including an excavator, to the site.
Missed this.
I don't know, and would have also needed access to a fairly large truck to haul the stolen paving stones away.
No.
Derp. Really? Unfortunately, due to the location of the scene, it isn't even clear where the thieves went afterwards.
What?
I'd be checking Craigslist. I mean, geez, or something. Meaning that the stolen stones could now be in any number of neighboring countries. As things stand, all that's left of the site now is about 300 square meters of sand.
Wow.
Efforts to track down those responsible remain ongoing. What kind of deal is that? I mean, does nobody live near here? I mean, I could hardly take out my garbage without my neighbors knowing, and yet somebody ripped off a whole road? What the hell is going on here? I'm telling you, that's something else.
Wow.
It's like what the hell is this? Is this like Die Hard something or what?
Yeah, no doubt.
And they've stolen the entire road. I don't know. Just saying, this is weird.
Yippee-ki-yay! Wow.
Come on to the coast, have a good time, have some laughs. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go.
Road.
It's like Dr. Evil
like
put this together.
Yeah,
We're going to
exactly.
steal gold? Money? No.
$1 million.
Something much better.
Cobblestone
An entire
Street.
road.
Exactly. Wow.
Let's see them get to work now. Oh, there you have it, folks. Stole the road.
Wow.
Now you might be able to say you've seen it all. I'm just saying. That's crazy.
A stolen street of dreams.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe cobblestones are very rare somewhere.
It's
I don't
worth
know.
30,000 euros in euros.
30,000 euros. It's got to be
You can't sell it in Britain.
something to keep. That's a keeper for sure.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks.
So it's like, is it like now? It's not like stealing a bunch of Greek relief.
I know it's like some priceless paintings and
We're gonna
statues.
sell each cobblestone for 10 cents.
Yeah. And we have like 30 million of them.
That's
I don't know.
1,000 euros.
And all that was left was some sand.
300 square meters of sand.
That's just tragic. Oh, wow. It's the crime of the century. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
This is what you tune in
for.
for.
What shall we do?
All right, folks. This has been a production of the Paranormal Portal
It's been a
News.
production, that's for sure.
That's crazy. But I mean, every newscast is something different, right?
Right,
I mean,
yeah,
you've never seen two of the same Paranormal Portal newscasts.
No.
Not the same.
No.
Nope.
Banksy saw the road thieves, and the road thieves saw Banksy spray paint graffiti, but neither was talking. Oh, Banksy, yeah. Hey, let's do shout outs real quick.
Let's do that.
Because we haven't, there's some people in here we haven't seen in a while.
By all means,
All
step
right.
it away.
So, the very short list, because nobody seems to really be talking except like these 10 people.
Uh-oh.
There's Android Purity, Eliza, Extreme Expeditions Northwest LLC. That would be Mr. Stephen Major.
Mr. Stephen Majors is here.
There you go. Ghost
Absolutely.
Magnet 81, Kirk Krieger, MCAT is here. How you doing, buddy? Maggie M10 is here. Portal Mom, hi Mom. Rachel gets it right. Go figure. Richard Elmore, Ruger Ridge. By the way, Ruger, I'm getting your shirt ordered up, so it'll be here before Christmas.
Before the next giveaway.
Exactly. Ruger, Sandra Piper, Sugar Britches, of course. She was the first one in tonight.
Yeah,
so
she
there
was.
you go. Special mention to her. Let's see. A couple others popped in. Let's see.
Did you say Kind Squanch?
Consquatch. Yeah. Jordan's here. And that is it for roll call.
Kirk Krieger.
Yep, I called.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right. There you go. And somebody... Whoa. Why am I not scrolling? There we go. Ghost Magnet says, I was going to try and cut down on my YouTube, but I couldn't even think of letting you guys go.
Oh, see, that's dedication. We like
That's
that.
wonderful. Thanks for
it.
bringing us the news
Denise.
and all the stuff you guys come up with. Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, Jake was here too. Jake from BLB.
Oh, very good. Very good. Not very good. Anyway, sorry. I'll learn to enunciate eventually.
Well, words are good. Man, I used the word today. What word did I use? Plethora. I used the word plethora.
Did you?
And somebody was like, wow, that's a good word. I said, yeah. It means a lot. Thanks.
Well, thanks. It means a lot.
Yeah. Hey,
That's funny.
Did you ever think about it? Think about this. A boatload of underwear is literally one pair.
No, Don. Never.
That was good. Come on.
I gave you a rim shot. I gave you the rim shot.
on my buttload of underwear.
That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. I gave you a buttload of rim shot. That's one too. All right. Let's go to the next article. Here in our beginning of the regular show, we got a weird one, and this one's kind of like almost like an artifact out of time thing, but
Really?
I don't know. Again, this is a weird source. I don't know the veracity or the authenticity or the reliability of the source, so take it with a grain of salt. But I thought it was interesting enough that we'd share it. Again, I can't validate anything that's being claimed here, but this is from alienstar.net, and there's a mysterious 200,000-year-old Oklahoma mosaic.
Wow.
Again, it's a way out there claim, but let's look at it. And see
Don't
what
let the Germans hear it.
No.
Don't just-
Here's the mystery of a 200,000-year-old Oklahoma mosaic. And this is from January 8th, 2022. I don't know who wrote the article, so I can't give them due credit. But it says in 1969, construction workers, so it's been apparently uncovered then. And now we're just hearing about it.
Wow.
Construction workers in Oklahoma, USA, stumbled upon a structure that looked man-made and, according to many authors, could rewrite the history of not only the United States, but also the world. This structure, which looks like a stone mosaic floor, was found in a layer that experts have dated up to 200,000 years. At that same time, it is officially accepted that the first people that came to North America only about 22 to 19,000 years ago. Now, this is apparently an image, and I got to say that I don't know that I agree.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it
what?
looks like a thin layer of some kind of strata, but
Some cracks.
but it's cracked due to possible geological shifts or whatever.
I don't know. Those are pretty straight lines.
They are kind of, yeah. I mean, some of them are really.
Nature doesn't make straight lines.
Well, I don't know that these are actually straight, though. I mean, when you're looking at it, if this is indeed an image. But anyway, let's continue and see what it says. An article about this strange discovery was first published in the newspaper, The Oklahoman, shortly after its discovery, causing heated debate among experts and among ordinary readers. The article also published several black and white photos of this mosaic, which to this day remain the only surviving images of this object. Oh, wow. Here's what was written in the post. On June 27th, 1969, workers cutting through a rock located in the Broadway extension of the 122nd Street between Edmond and Oklahoma City stumbled upon a find that caused much controversy among the experts. I'm sure it was human-made because the stones were arranged in perfect sets of parallel lines that intersected to form a diamond shape, all pointing east. Okay, well, I guess that does sound hardly natural. Right, yeah. Said Durwood Pate, an Oklahoma City geologist who studied the matter place. The matter place, okay. We also found a hole for the pole or pillar, which is perfectly flat. The top of the rocks is very smooth, and if you pick up one of them, you find something that indicates surface wear. Everything is too well positioned to be a natural formation. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Wow, yeah.
Huh. It says, Dr. Robert Bell, an archaeologist for the University of Oklahoma, expressed a different opinion, stating that the find was a natural formation. Dr. Bell said he saw no trace of the processing agent, but Pate, on the other hand, found something like grout between each stone. That'd be tough because, if it was like a grout-like material that we have, wouldn't it have just turned to powder long ago without any kind of maintenance, being just buried?
Well, but then again, when, on a road, something like that, something on the ground, you're not really going to use a grout. You're going to use sand. So it's something that's going to be on the ground anyhow.
Okay.
Because you fill it in, and you probably, you can mix it with water and some lime, and it becomes more of a concretion.
Oh, okay.
So,
maybe that's true. Maybe that's what they did. One guy claims there was some kind of grout there, and the other guy said nothing. But cover up. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know for any facts about this other than I found this article and I thought it was interesting. He said, "There's no doubt about it. It was clearly put there, but I have no idea who could have done it," he told the journalist. Did I miss this whole thing? Which was discovered. Yeah, I did. It said Delbert Smith, geologist and president of the Oklahoma Seismograph Company, said the structure, which was discovered about 90 centimeters below the Earth's surface, appears to cover an area of several thousand square feet.
Wow.
Okay. According to the newspaper, Delbert Smith, the president of the Oklahoma Seismograph Company and former president of the Oklahoma City Geophysical Society, and Durwood Pate, an independent petroleum geologist, came to the site to study the formation and to take samples.
You skipped that whole sentence right there.
No, I read it first, and then I went up and read this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's when I'm convinced this is not a natural earthly formation, but something created by human hands, Smith said later. 2 days later, on June 29th, 1969, a new article about this find appeared in the newspaper, Tulsa World. There, Delbert Smith's words were given more fully, and dating of the object sounded for the first time. There's no doubt about that. It was specially installed by someone, but I have no idea who did it. Another facet of the mystery is relating to the dating. There are different opinions regarding the geology involved, but the most accurate estimates of the age of these tiles are about 200,000 years.
Wow.
This is in Oklahoma, so this isn't like over in Greece or something.
Oklahoma, where the winds come rushing down the plain.
All right.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the show tune. The investigation continued on July 1st, 1969. The newspaper, the Oklahoman, wrote about the discovery of a second hole in the mosaic. Measurements showed that the two holes are 5 meters apart. According to Pyth, the rock form which the mosaic is made is Permian limestone with an admixture of quartz grains. On July 3rd, the Oklahoman newspaper continued its coverage of the find, pointing out that according to reports from archaeologists, an ancient stone hammer was also found at the site. Well, God, I guess it's sounding more and more like it's definitely something that was intentional. Right. The mystery of the Dolomite limestone formation discovered between Oklahoma City and Edmond was exacerbated Wednesday by the discovery of a hammer-like object at the site. Geologists who paid attention to the unusual formation found it difficult to explain the origin of the formation or artifact. John M. Ware, an Oklahoma City geologist, said, "It just can't be explained in terms of geology. We need an archaeologist to give the final opinion." However, its age and origins may remain a mystery if the archaeologist is not able to convince him to take on the project soon. Within 20 days, the builders will continue their work on the excavation of the area in order to begin construction of a food warehouse. Wow, really? Let's just take a moment. Obviously, they have a job to do, and obviously a food warehouse must have been somewhat important. But to destroy what might be a 200,000-year-old artifact in the process, are you serious? That's just mind-numbing.
Yeah, they just wanted progress.
Oh.
Progress. They just wanted a food warehouse.
There you go. Another intriguing feature of the rock is the fact that it contains marine sediments, indicating that it was once an ocean floor. Pate said the 100 by 60 foot formation is fast becoming a tourist attraction. People flock there and rip off chunks of stone. Oh, well, that explains the road, Don.
Yep.
From the other story.
Yep. There must be German tourists.
Tourists. That's it. We must save it until something is done to determine its origin. Unfortunately, after that, almost no additional information about this strange find was published in the Oklahoma newspapers, and what has become of it is unknown.
My question is was it like a floor for if it's that, it's 100 by 60?
Yeah.
That's pretty good size. That'd be a pretty good size building.
Right.
So was it a floor and there's no, and if there were walls and such, and if it was built with, like sandstone, did people relocate the sandstone to use in other buildings? And that's why you don't see any structure other than just the floor?
Maybe.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's and maybe that hole that's right there, maybe that's just like a sacrificial hole, they do the sacrifice. And,
well, I was thinking like a tent pole or something, like perhaps they had poles and suspending some kind of roof. Like a tent pole, like a big...
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, look at that hole. If you can see it, it does... it really does look... It's extraordinarily symmetrical, right?
Yes, it's round.
Well, right. I don't know. I think that's pretty intense. I think this is very interesting. And again, folks, I can't claim any kind of knowledge or insight on this. I just think... I think that there is a history, again, that we are not allowed to know. Like anytime it bubbles up to the surface, it's quickly covered up for whatever reasons. And I don't pretend to know the reasons, but apparently there's a history that we're not supposed to know about.
Rieger says it was the original Walmart warehouse.
Oh, it's definitely...
Or maybe that's what they built on it. Maybe that's what he means. That's what they built on top of that was the Walmart warehouse.
It's the Flintstones Walmart. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. There you go.
Mr. Bald Feet.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's interesting, though. I'd never heard of such a thing, and oddly enough, you'd think this would be huge, like it would be something we would all know about. But again, it's just been kind of covered up and brushed over. You'd think somebody would still be looking into that. Because if there's one structure, there's got to be more.
Yeah, you do imagine.
If they went left or right, could they have found more to indicate a society that may have lived there or what? Maybe it would help to cement the find and they can figure out where else to put their damn warehouse, Yes. But, again, that's tragic if they wiped it all out for a food warehouse. Right.
Yep.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's the first big article on our news, or not our news, but our regular show here. Another one from this site that I found, again, this is more to do with ET on this one, but here's apparently a strange encounter with an alien.
Wow.
Again, this is from alienstar.net, alienstar.net. And this is a new site. I've not run into this before. It says, what do you say to a man from outer space? Strange encounter with humanoid beings, 1972.
David Bowie? Man from Earth?
Yeah, Ziggy.
Yeah, there you go.
January 8th, 2022. So this is a pretty new article as well. Again, no attribution, so I don't know who to give praise to. But
hold up a sec.
Yeah.
Stephen Major says, "Oh my God, you have a new fan. My wife is loving your show."
Oh,
All this time we've been talking to you, and she's just now watching the show. We appreciate it very much.
yeah. Thank you, Daisy. That's great. Welcome to the show, Daisy. Honored to have you. All right. So here we go. What do you say from a man from outer space? Strange encounter with humanoid beings, 1972. All right. In late January 1972, 16-year-old John Yearies, his brother James, and two small friends, Daryl Rich and Robbie Cross, decided to do a little late-night fishing near Battle Creek Bridge, a few miles east of Anderson, California. It was cold that night, and a wispy, boggish mist swirled through the dense forest as their car inched its way up the narrow road. As the boys nervously talked and glanced into the surrounding darkness, John suddenly yelled and pointed at a brilliant, glowing object that passed over the car and vanished somewhere in the thickly wooded countryside. Ooh. Minutes later, at Battle Creek Bridge, they left the car and had walked about 100 feet. Then a piercing scream ran out from the brush just off the road.
Rang out.
Rang out, not ran out, rang out.
It was nude.
Yeah. Words.
W-E-R-D-Z.
W-U-R-D-Z. We heard this blood-curdling howl, John said. I pointed the light over in the brush, and there was this weird thing.
Oh, nice.
This weird thing. About 50 feet away stood a creature 7 feet tall, dark green or brown in color, slightly hunched over, with what appeared to be a large teardrop-shaped ear on one side of its head. The boys described the thing as humanoid, having no hair and what looked like lumps all over its body, similar to the pouches in a flight suit. So, I mean, how are they still standing there? I mean, Don, if you're by a bridge, you hear a blood-curdling scream. I mean, that's probably my exit right there.
It's like,
you know,
fight or flight. I'm taking a flight.
I'd definitely been flight. Yeah, but those kids are like, hey, what was that? Shine the light. These guys are made of some serious metal. I heard a scream right near me, James said, and ran back to the car. Robbie ran too. Then John and Daryl came back and said they'd seen it. Panic-stricken, the boys reached the car, but it was locked. After fumbling for the keys, they hurriedly got in and tried starting the engine, but it wouldn't kick over.
Of course.
Of course, yeah. It's like, I've seen that movie. I know how that goes.
Yep.
So they pushed it.
Yep.
They pushed it. They went Flintstones on it, Don.
Yeah.
John popped the clutch and the car lurched forward, and they scrambled in, slammed the doors, and raced down the road. But the encounter wasn't over.
Like a posi traction Pontiac.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, jump starting. God, we had to do that all the time. We used to drive some beaters.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the only way to start them. Come on, guys, push.
We don't need a battery.
Yeah, you know.
We don't need a battery.
What do you mean starter? No, those are my friends. That's what their nicknames are. Some distance down the road, they noticed a number of fiery objects, blue, white, orange, and red, moving erratically along the open fields on both sides. Two of the... Jesus, don't you dare.
No.
Okay.
So Kirk Krieger said, "I just got an image of you guys holding each other like Shaggy and Scooby," and I just about went zoink.
Yeah.
Zoink.
All right. The two of the glowing balls came together, shot straight up in the air, and disappeared.
Are they sweaty balls?
I have no idea. They didn't say. They were glowing, though, so imagine
balls.
they were warm. As the boys traveled further along, they reported seeing a glowing shape that looked like a human figure.
Huh.
The boys drove to Daryl Rich's home and related the experience to Daryl's father, Dean. Mr. Rich is a respected businessman in Anderson, and it was at the time considered running for Anderson City Council. Yeah, he's like, shut up, kids. Don't you tell nobody about this.
You're gonna
Nobody.
ruin my elections. What the hell is wrong with you?
He grabbed his pistol and returned to the Battle
If you
Creek
don't shut up,
Bridge.
I'm going to shut. Oh,
Not for the kids, Don.
oh,
Jeez.
damn it!
You're in the wrong place with this. They returned to the Battle Creek Bridge with his son and the Erie boys. I thought maybe they were pulling my leg, he said, but they seemed really scared. Oh, there's even drawings.
Wow,
Nice.
yeah.
Very well done.
Looks like oh, I forgot what to call that.
What is that guy, Zippy and Pinhead? You remember that?
Zippy.
This is like the pin, right? It's kind of like that silhouette, right? He and the boys walked into the dark forest at about 100 yards and were confronted with a series of odd noises. In the blackness ahead of them, the elder Rich said he heard a really deep growl. Ooh. It was a weird type of sensation, a feeling I've never experienced before. After hearing the strange sound, he said the boys ran and left him there alone. He said, I got the hell out of there too. The combined scream growl continued until Dean Rich had back up to the car, at which time the sound abruptly stopped. It was an eerie thing, he said. It wasn't a peacock, a bear, a mountain lion, a bobcat, or anything like I've ever heard before. Dean Rich added that the thing had apparently stayed in one spot since there was no sound of movement in the brush. He and the boys agreed that they interpreted the scream as a warning to them to leave, and it succeeded.
Good thinking. Good thinking.
Yep. The police were notified and a patrol car was dispatched to the scene. A car-mounted spotlight was used in a broad sweep of the bridge area, but nothing was observed, nor was any evidence found. The police noted that Rich and the boys were very frightened and that something weird had happened. The Anderson policeman who investigated the incident said he knows the witnesses personally and is sure any suspicion of a hoax is out of the question. Dean Rich concluded that that was so unnerving about the whole event was that it happened very close to home. Yeah, that is creepy too. On October 4th, 1973, California insurance agent Gary Chase walked through the doors of the Community Safety Agency and headed to the desk sergeant on duty. Look, I'm not drunk, I don't smoke pot, and I've got a story that's going to blow your mind, he said earnestly. For earlier that night, as he drove over the mountainous Santa Susana Pass towards his home in Semi Valley, an area 40 miles northwest of L.A., he was tossed headlong into the mysterious world of UFOs.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. It was 6:40 p.m. as Chase drove along the freeway. His thoughts were of a successful business day and getting home to his wife and their small daughter. The sun had set, but the sky was still blue. He could drive safely for a while before turning on his headlights. As Chase neared the Rocky Peak exit, a dark cigar-shaped object hovering near the top of the mountain ahead caught his eye. Thinking that it might be a blimp, he slowed down to watch it, but the object disappeared behind the crest of the ridge. Continuing his route and passing west and passing the mountain, Chase kept looking to his right, expecting to see the blimp silhouetted plainly in the sky on the other side of the ridge, where he thought he'd get an unobstructed view of the valley. Surprisingly, the sky was empty. Chase kept watching for the object as he drove several more miles. Then he noticed a small cloud of dust rising from the side of the Rocky Peak just behind him. He pulled over to the side of the freeway at the Cooner Drive exit ramp, backed up a short distance, and got out to take a look. Nestled in a small canyon 100 feet below him was an elliptical-shaped craft hovering and swaying about 10 feet off the ground. It appeared to be about 30 feet wide and at least 70 feet long.
Wow.
The rear end doubled the size of the front. It got some trunk.
You got some junk in there, Trent.
Possibly.
In there, Trent.
Because it was nearly evening, the color of the craft was difficult to discern, but Chase says the smooth finish resembled the dull gray of an automobile with a coat of paint thinner or primer. Hose-like object protruded from the bottom of the craft that was just about 8 feet long. Don't do it, Don. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. I'm going to mute you. All right, I'm muting him just in case. No,
I was just thinking of a whale.
It was 8 feet long and a foot in diameter. This almost reached the small stream directly underneath the hovering craft.
Uh-huh.
What baffled Chase most was the large insignia on the side of the craft, a huge V with a progressively smaller V's inside the larger figure, in alternating dark and light colors.
I've seen that show.
Oh, yeah, V.
Yeah.
Chase stood spellbound on the edge of the freeway, hoping someone else in the early evening traffic would also see the UFO and stop, at least to inquire what he was looking at, but he was to be the only witness.
Wow.
Wow, is right. Suddenly, at the top of the gently swaying vehicle, a clear glass-like dome about 3 feet in diameter appeared and opened. As Chase continued to stare in amazement, a humanoid figure appeared on the deck, crawling on his hands and feet and heading towards the narrow front of the object in the direction of the hose. According to Chase, the being looked like a man of normal size and was wearing a tight-fitting uniform that looked like a scuba diver's wetsuit. Chase couldn't see the humanoid's facial features because the entity's face or face plate was darker than his uniform. Indeed, if indeed the humanoid was wearing a uniform at all. As the being neared the hose, a loud clicking sound came from the craft. Instantly, the entity turned and looked up directly at Chase.
Wow.
It then quickly turned away and scurried rapidly on hands and toes back to the rear of the craft where it first appeared. The clear bubble on the top began to rotate and it disappeared, leaving only a flush of dull gray surface. And then there was another sound, an extremely low humming that seemed like a vibration. A thick, opaque cloud-like substance began collaring the object that extended about 20 feet all around the mysterious vehicle. Although this fog didn't reach Chase, a pungently sweet odor did, which he felt was caused by the mysterious substance. The witness watched the thick cloud for about 60 seconds, and when it disintegrated, the craft had disappeared.
Wow.
Ooh,
Huh.
that's creepy. The appearance of the humanoid creatures accompanying UFO sightings is increasing at an alarming rate. Researchers' files are filled with such accounts, and whether they represent visitors from outer space or from another dimension is a moot point to the thousands who've had serious physical and emotional problems as a result of the encounters with them. What's more, a 1973 Gallup poll shows that 11% of the adult population in the U.S., or roughly 15 million Americans, have observed UFOs and believe them to be intelligently controlled objects of unknown origin.
Yeah.
73, really? They had to go back to 73? That's a 73 Gallup poll. That's a long time ago. I bet you it's more now.
Well, yeah, because definitely,
Yeah.
15 million Americans. It's going to be more. It's going to be more than that.
Yeah.
Wow, just with that number.
Right. We're in the midst of a very real phenomenon, and scores of people are being mercilessly hounded and ridiculed, and up until now, science and the media have seen fit to ignore the mountain of evidence collected by competent investigators for nearly 3 decades. This is quite a long article, isn't it? On April 24th, 1964, New Mexican policeman Lonnie Zamora chased a UFO. I think I've heard of this one. Chased a UFO in his patrol car as it whizzed through the sky and descended into a gully. As he approached the area where the object landed, he heard 2 loud bangs. Leaving his car, Zamora walked into the gully and noticed 2 humanoid figures standing next to the landed object. They looked like children or small adults in white or beige clothing. The beings appeared surprised at seeing Zamora and quickly re-entered the craft, which shot off into the sky. How much longer is this? This is a lot longer. There's a lot more, but I think that's where we're going to leave this one. Where was I?
Right there.
There I was, yeah. I think that's where I'm going to leave it because there's so much more to cover, and this could take up maybe the rest of the show. So,
Look at all that.
yeah, I know. That's a lot of scroll bar left.
Scroll bar.
A lot of scroll bar over here, folks. So, I mean, it's a great article, though. It's got some great topics and great sightings. But we'll get back to that at another time because
He needs to rest his voice.
I need to rest my voice. Does that mean you're going to do something?
Well, let me check my saved.
No, it's fine. I wanted to get to an article. What time do we got, by the way?
Oh, I don't know. It's 8 o'clock.
8
10
o'clock,
after,
because
yeah.
I want to get to this article. This is one that I've been kind of excited to... no, this isn't it. Is it? No, this isn't the one. There's another article I want to get to that was kind of funny. I thought it was funny. Well, there's actually several that I want to get to here. I want to get to 3 articles from Phantoms and Monsters. Our friend Lon Strickler from Phantoms and Monsters, of course, has 3 great articles that I pulled up, and I'm excited to read. Here's another one in UFOs, but I didn't really make this a UFO show, so I want to save these 2 for another time. I think. What is this? Oh yeah, this is the warp field one. Yeah, we'll get to that one, but I do want to get to where the hell's the... Oh, I don't know. I must have closed one. All right, I'm going to get to a few different ones. Yeah, that's not what I was looking for at all. Sorry, folks. I had a couple other articles that I was excited to bring to you guys, but those seem to be somehow missing in my tabathon here. My tab farm has grown. This one is an interesting one. Okay, so I don't know how many of you know this, but apparently there was a senior scientist on Lockheed Martin had made some deathbed confessions. Basically, he was very seriously ill and looking at the end of his days, and so he got together and kind of opened his book, so to speak, and gave an interview about all of the weird things that he was privy to. And so we're going to kind of dig into that. This is a little bit of a longer article, but I think it's interesting. So, you know, I don't know, if I was going to pass from this earth, wouldn't you think?
You know, so here's the thing. Like, even if you look at criminals, you know, if they know that they're going to end up, you know, getting in trouble for something, they'll start spilling the beans about everything. Mm-hmm. You know, so, you know, why not just take that step farther, that experiencers or people that have this knowledge at the end of their life just won't spill the beans. I mean, that's just the way it works. It's like they figure, I think they just figure, you know what? There is nothing anybody can do to me. I am going to kick the bucket in 3 to 5 years.
Right.
And if I end up with a bag on my head with a piece of, you know, medical rope around my neck, you know, like, you know, a guy named, you know, Phil Schneider. But anyhow, you know, and they call it a suicide. Well, you know, hey, yeah, I wasn't going to live much longer anyhow. So here we go. So,
but don't you think it would be probably a very conscience clearing moment for them? Like, hey, this is what I've seen. You guys need to know this. I can't.
It's a catharsis.
It's got to be. So when I saw this, I was like, you know, I did hear this guy's talk. Mm-hmm. It's an older video that's probably still out on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
But let's get into this, and this is again from phantomsandmonsters.com. Special thanks to Lon Strickler for letting us use, you know, some of their material on the show. But was Lockheed Martin's senior scientist deathbed disclosure factual? So just on the merit of it being with his last interview, he knows his days are counting down quick, and this is his moment.
Yep.
I have to believe the guy was sincere.
Yes.
I really do. And, you know, regardless of how many people may try to debunk what he brought up, let's just dive into this, because I think it's possibly his moment to open his books. This is his disclosure. So in November 2014, I posted a brief narrative about several disclosures made by former Lockheed Martin employee, retired senior scientist Boyd Bushman, who passed away in the summer of 2014. Recorded a video shortly before his death in which he talked candidly about his personal experiences at Area 51 and his involvement there with alien technology, alien creatures, and their unique anti-gravity propulsion systems. During the deathbed video interview, Bushman produced many photographs showing the aircraft, alien beings, dead and alive, and their futuristic technologies, while disclosing never-before-told bits of information he garnered from the unearthly alien and visitors. Since Bushman's declaration was released, skeptics and media cynics have attempted to tear down the information, notably taking issue with the alien photographs. Here's an example. The video was a perfect storm for conspiracy theorists. It had the intrigue of a deathbed confession, some juicy photographs, and seeming confirmation that the U.S. government was working with alien technology at Area 51.
No way.
Unfortunately for those UFO lovers, the video appeared to be at least partially a fabrication. A Quebec newspaper, QVTC, found out that the alien Bushman showed in his photograph was a doll that anyone can pick up at Walmart. Bushman's story also drew many critics on a UFO subreddit, where one user linked to a YouTube video of a man showing the similarities between his toy alien and the one shown in the video. I suppose the doll similarities make Bushman's claims fair game for criticism. Even though the photos looked to be aged and worn, the doll was not a mass-marketed item and seemed to be initially manufactured and distributed in the 60s. This information was provided to me by a source who is a toy and juvenile items distributor. If this is the case, then the powers to be may have been responsible for a hidden in plain sight campaign to debunk disclosures.
Gosh.
Wow, that's a great point. So, like, if they make a toy that looks like an alien, put it out there, and then if anybody comes forward with actual photos,
Ridicule.
you can just say, no, that's a toy because it was released. So it's actually, it could be very well just that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's up to you to decide, but I think that kind of seems to go along with a lot of the thought concerning cover-ups and the way they're done.
RMO.
Yep. So, let's see. There have been claims for several decades that actual alien technology and design have been leaked to film producers in Hollywood in an attempt to soften the blow of disclosure on the general public. There's the photo right there that they're talking about that he showed during this interview.
Oh, you know what? I saw that in Men in Black.
Right. Yeah.
The movie Men in Black.
Yeah. Sure, but I mean, if you wanted to cover that up, you make it an object of everyday experience, and then it's not fantastical anymore.
The galaxy is on Orion's belt.
Oh, yeah, the one that lived in that
the head.
man-sized robot, yeah. Before his death, Bushman worked as a senior scientist for Lockheed Martin, spanning a 40-year career. Bushman was employed by the Hughes Aircraft, General Dynamics, Texas Instruments, and Lockheed Martin, during which time he was awarded 26 patents, some are still classified, for his work on the Stinger, formerly Red Eye, missile system, laser-guided smart bombs, imaging systems, and magnetic-related technologies. His credentials are impeccable, which lends credence to his claims that he has spoken to alien visitors and worked firsthand with their technology during his tenure at Area 51. During the interview, Bushman details an astonishing recollection made by a pilot involved with material recovery after a 1947 UFO crash.
Wow.
Roswell was not mentioned, but this seems to be the incident referenced. The radar group had found a blip out over New Mexico, and they wanted to assign the pilot to go check it out. He got the fastest airplane at the time, which was a prop plane. It was fully armed. He was out flying, and he found the item, and he immediately communicated back and said, "First of all, I want you to tell me if any other airplanes are flying in the area." Control responded, "Just the two of you." The pilot said, "Second thing I want to know, does I have authority to shoot it down?" They replied, "Why do you want to shoot it down?" And he said, "Because I am flying the fastest thing that the United States can make, and he's beginning to leave me behind. I know he's either a friend or an enemy, and if he's leaving me, he's an enemy. Therefore, I wished the authority to shoot it down." He was granted authority, and he shot him down.
Wow.
He flew past the downed craft and saw that there was a road on one side of the fenced area. He came down, landed his airplane. It was hard to do, but he did. He cut across the fence. The door to the craft was open, and one of them, alien being, was out walking around. The pilot didn't care about that. He cared about what the vehicle was. When he ducked down, because they were only about 5 feet tall, inside the craft he saw that he could see through the walls. Not only that, the floor was spongy. He looked at the three that were there, and they were dead. He knew it would be a while before the military arrived, and he did not want to be alone with the fourth alien. He reboarded his plane and took off. He was never debriefed at the scene. Some of the information Bushman produced gave me the pause, thinking that he may have been disclosing some facts. He presented pictures of the alien beings that he claims to have not only seen with his own eyes, but interacted with. He stated that the aliens were about 4.5 to 5 feet tall, and at least 18 of the beings lived and operated in the Area 51 facility and later moved to the Utah facility, which I believe was the Dugway Proving Grounds. One of the two of them were about 230 years old. The aliens explained to Bushman that they were two types of otherworldly beings, which described using earthly metaphors, were akin to our 19th century cowboy wranglers and rustlers. Mm-hmm. One group, wranglers, guides the human race, while the other is not so friendly. He noted that the alien beings have a spirit form, which strays near the body for 3 days before transforming into a different state. These descriptions were very similar to the reports I was given by experiencer David Eckhart's, David detailed a tall gray species who would be liaisons with humans, and one of the reptilian species who reluctantly interacted with humans, but made it known that they were ordered to tolerate us. Much of the communication was laced with a variety of metaphors. For instance, that they would suddenly appear as a group at David's home. It was referenced to as a tour since they were fascinated by how humans lived. The spirit form was often exhibited to David as being part of the alien's body and used for moving between locations on and off this dimensional plane. Wow. Bushman was subjected to a polygraph examination previous to 2008. The tests were obtained and held secret by a prominent researcher who, upon Bushman's death, felt the time had come to release them. Here it is.
Wow.
Question 1. Did you ever work for Strategic Defense Initiative? Answer, yes. The result was true. Question 2. Did you work longer than 2 years for SDI? Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. Question 3. Do you have in personal property any blueprints or brilliant pebbles project? Note, this program was a non-nuclear system of satellite-based interceptors. Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. Question 4. Did you personally design any parts of brilliant pebbles? Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. Question 5. Was Victor Moore of SDI killed instead of drug overdose reported to the public? Note, Moore was a Marconi Defense Systems scientist who died in April 1987 of a drug overdose, quote unquote. 7 British scientists working on the program died within an 18-month period.
Wow.
Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. Question 6. Was Russell Smith of SDI killed instead of cliff suicide reported to public? Smith was a 23-year-old technician at the Atomic Energy Research Lab whose body was found halfway down a cliff in January 1988. Death ruled a suicide. Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. Question 7. Did you ever work for Edward Teller? Note, Teller is the father of the hydrogen bomb. Answer, yes. Result, true. And question 8. Were you personally hired by Edward Teller? Yes. Result, true. Question 9. Did you work at Area 51? Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. 10. Did you or do you work at Area 51 as a research scientist? Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. 11. Did you work at S4 complex? Note, S4 is a complex within Area 51. Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. Question 12. Were you research scientist in S4 complex? Answer, yes, true. Question 13. Did you know Bob Lazar inside of S4? Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. Question 14. Is Bob Lazar information on alien spacecraft correct? Yes. Polygraph result, true. Question 15. Was our job to blueprint alien tech energy systems? Answer, yes. Result, true. Question 16. Did you relay any information to anyone other than Edward Teller? Answer, no. Polygraph result, true. 17. Do alien life forms exist? Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. 18. Have you ever photographed personally alien life forms? Answer, yes. Result, true. Question 19. Have you ever been threatened with death for discussing Area 51 or S4? Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. Question 20. Have you ever been threatened with within 30 days of December 2nd, 2007? Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. Question 21. Have you been discredited by security personnel to keep you from talking to the public? Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. 22. Do you have a PhD? Yes, that is true. Is your working at a family electronics business a cover for alien technology research you are currently working on? Yes. Result, true. Do you trust the United States government to have access to this technology? Answer, no. Result, true. Do you trust the United States law enforcement or Justice Department? Answer, no. Result, true. Have you ever discussed this technology with scientists from other countries? Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. Have you ever touched alien life form? Yes. Result, true. Number 28, does any member of your family have any glue to what you do? Clue. I think they mean clue, but it says glue. Answer, no. The result is true. Number 29. Geez, 29. Is there more than 8 alien spacecraft that you have personally examined? Answer, yes. The result was true. Are you an alien? Answer, no. Result, true. Are you an anti-gravity scientist? Yes. Result is true. Do you have anti-gravity room? Answer, yes. Result is true. Do you use a lens assembly to generate anti-gravity energy? Answer, yes. Result, true. Have you personally floated around? Yes, and that is true. Has other personnel floated in anti-gravity room? Yes, true. Do you trust the United States government with your anti-gravity technology? No, and that is true. Is your anti-gravity lenses assembly a direct result of your alien technology research? Yes, and that is true. Do you feel that your past attempts to go public with release of alien technology was a waste of time? Answer, yes. Result, true. Are you willing to discuss this technology publicly? Again, answer, no. Result, inconclusive. Do you fear more threats? Yes, that's true. Were you informed by security personnel that over $100,000 has been spent to discredit you? Answer, yes. Result, true. Were you informed by security personnel that they personally have paid off media and internet personalities to discredit you? Answer, yes. Result, true. Number 43, do you know what personalities they are? Yes, and that is true. Would you discuss your job or research with the President of the United States? No. True. Would you discuss your job or research with a congressional committee? No, and that is true. Is it due to corrupt actions of federal law enforcement agents and personnel that will not allow you to discuss your job or research with Washington, D.C.? Answer, yes. Result, true. If Washington, D.C. corrected issues of the corrupt federal law enforcement agents, would you consider discussing your job or research with Washington, D.C.? Answer, yes. Polygraph result, true. Is mankind truly ready for the information that you could release? Answer, no. True. Would you use your anti-gravity room to assist in medical analysis of issues dealing with astronauts? Answer, no. True. Is it true that you can create a somewhat mental freeze state in the anti-gravity room? Answer, yes. True. Can you generate an anti-gravity beam? Yes. True. That's like a tractor beam, right, Don? Anti-gravity beam?
It'd be more like a detractor beam, because it would put you would think that it would push it away from you.
Right. I guess maybe so. Have you ever lifted anything over 1,000 pounds over a height of 100 feet? Answer, yes. True. Do you have a technology that could neutralize IED, UXO explosive devices? Yes. True. Would you share this technology with the United States government? No. And that's true. Is it because of the same corrupt federal law enforcement practices? Yes, true. I'm going to try to get through these as quick as we can. Again, if Washington, D.C. corrected the corruption, would you consider? Yes, true. Is your mistrust of the federal law enforcement based on the facts and cases that affect you personally? Yes, true. Are there other law enforcement agencies at lower levels that affect your position? Yes, true. How long does this go? Oof.
Goes for a while.
It goes for a long while. Are you aware that you're being monitored and tracked by security personnel? Yes, that's true. Are other agencies tracking you too? Yes. Has the Northwest region of the United States lost the mass power outage? Is it true that you personally notified a federal government official days before it happened and they disregarded, stating it could not happen? Yes, that was true. There's a lot of grid talk. Would you disclose what occurred while at Langley? No, true. Okay. So anyway, folks, this is there. I mean, we're basically at the end. Question 70, are the locations in central or the east coast regions of the United States where alien technology research is being done that you have personally visited? Yes, and that is true. No doubt controversy surrounding the subject of UFOs will continue for a long time until there is any evidence that cannot be denied. That's a brilliant article because, I mean, he actually put in the polygraph test. That would have been probably a tape or a written document that he received, but very cool. I never knew he had done a polygraph. Very interesting. So there you have it, folks. I mean, believe what you want to believe, but I believe if a guy is looking at the end of his life, he's got nothing left to lose, but he doesn't want to leave with a buried bucket of secrets. He wanted to give that information out, and I think that that's admirable. Do I think he actually had a photo of an alien? I think probably, because why would he be factual and willing to risk himself and just to open this book on his one of his last known talks?
Right.
And why would he do it with a bunch of garbage? I don't think he wanted to be remembered that way. I think he was a man of integrity, and he wanted to leave with an open book. So, I mean, God bless the guy. That's pretty cool. I don't know, but believe what you want. Again, it's not, we're not ever trying to make you believe or not believe. It's your call.
That's all up to you.
It's all up to you, but let's move on to the next one from Phantoms and Monsters. This is weird customer encounters described by employees. This is from January 18th, 2022. It's a very new article from Phantoms and Monsters. Business employees describe their strange encounters with unusual customers. There are references to men in black, aliens, Boris and Natasha, etc. Very interesting incidents. Said this happened about 6 years ago, but has strongly stuck with me. The setting is a Starbucks in the U.S. college town of an incredibly major highway between noon and 3 p.m. I was running the drive-thru myself, taking orders over the speaker, and serving customers at the window. Business had slowed down for the afternoon, so I was able to work at a comfortable pace for once. I took a car's order, just 2 grande coffees, nothing remarkable, just a perfectly normal and non-irritating interaction. The car pulled up to the window, and when I opened it to greet them, I got the absolute weirdest feeling. They were pleasant enough, not chatty, but not being short with me either. The 2 men in the car looked like the typical middle-aged white businessmen that come through my drive-thru all the time. Their faces were incredibly generic and nondescript. To my best friend and coworker over the headset, I said, "Hey, I swear these guys at my window aren't human. They're like the most generic NPC-looking people I've ever seen. Like I can't even describe them. They look so nothing." I wrung them out and go to hand their coffees to see if you're still laughing at me. She rolled her eyes, of course, and went to hand the coffee out the window. And afterwards, she agreed that there was something seriously off about those 2 men. We couldn't quite pinpoint it, aside from them and their car being so nondescript. We couldn't even describe them minutes later.
Well, isn't that what nondescript means?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. They kind of reminded me of Men in Black, except they seemed to function perfectly fine as humans. I would have thought it was just having a weird day if my friend, who misses no opportunity to roast me, hadn't seen them and agreed with me that they didn't feel human.
Wow.
So, I often wonder about that. So if there is aliens here, why not? I mean, why wouldn't they? If they can approximate us, look like us, why wouldn't they just partake in the civilization?
Right.
Like, they don't need to watch from a bubble. They can just look like us.
Right.
So I think that probably happens. So is this the thing? I'm not sure if I chose the right flare. Is this right? Flare. I get pretty deep into supernatural rabbit holes and don't know what they could be or possibly explanation besides boring looking guys that gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Huh.
All right, the next one. I used to work at a Dollar General a long time ago, and there was a couple, a woman and a man, who would come in once a month, ask where the soap was. It's always the same place. It never moved. Buy 1 bar of soap and leave. They never bought anything else. We nicknamed them Boris and Natasha because they looked like those characters from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Pale, the man was bald, the woman had black hair, cut sort of like Edna Mode, and they continued to have Russian accents.
Edna Mode.
But the creepiest
Edna Mode.
But the creepiest customer was a white dude with blonde hair in a buzz cut, with big glasses and a gray hoodie, who looked like every police sketch of a serial killer you ever saw.
Ted Kaczynski.
Except that one, because he had a beard, didn't he?
Yeah, but
It's the bearded guys you got to look out for.
Really?
Saying. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying. That's all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He would buy a few things, like a bunch of little boxes of raisins and random stuff. Then he was always polite to us, but he gave everyone who worked there the creeps, and we never knew why. That's one of those things. You got to trust your gut.
Yeah.
If somebody makes you creepy, trust it. Listen, stay away. I used to work at a security at a major music venue. Part of your job at the pit is to scan the crowd, make sure no one's fighting, passing out, etc. One evening, just as the sun was going down and the opening act was on stage, I noticed two really strange dudes. The show playing pulled a crowd of mostly 16 mid-20-year-olds. Very young, energetic crowd. These guys were about a foot taller than everyone around them. Looked like they were pushing 40, and they were there to serve court papers. They both had the same suit on in the middle of summer at an outdoor music venue. They both had the same bald heads, had almost bald heads, like if you had shaved but let it grow back for a week, and super pale skin, like actually white. They stood there completely motionless, off of stage left, staring straight forward. I kept watching them, thinking maybe they were executives for the band or something, but honestly, they were freaking me out, and I had nothing better to do.
So they're gonna stay back.
After I stood there staring at them for maybe 5 minutes, it was like they noticed I was onto them. They both started staring directly at me. I could even feel their stares when I looked away. I approached another guard and asked him if he thought those dudes looked suspicious, and he said, "Yeah, but I never trust a white guy in a suit," and blew me off. When I turned back to the two men, they were walking away and appeared to be in a stride together, like moving in sync. They also had a weird stride, like almost rocking side to side.
Is that like a John Cleese walk?
I don't know, maybe. Well, later when I was taking a water break, I heard my supervisor talking about these two tall white guys in suits, and I told her I noticed them too, and she went on about how creepy they were and how they gave her the willies. She said she was about to approach them, but when she came back with some backup, they had left. Creepy. I was working at the front desk at a dispensary in downtown San Francisco while in college, not too far from the Federal Building or the UN Building. We would get tourists, travelers from all over the world stopping in to check out the dispensary often. I was sitting up front checking people in. We were slow, and I was sitting there on my phone next to the security guard, who was also on his phone. This guy walks in and walks up to the desk, and I look up and immediately felt something off. He looked like he was wearing a flesh suit.
Like an Edgar suit?
He was wearing an Edgar suit. I need some sugar water. Sugar water. Go get it now.
No.
His skin was almost transparent. His eyes were huge, and his forehead was really large. He was tall and muscular, but also long and lean at the same time. The part that solidified it for me was his ID, was an identification card from the UN. I checked a lot of IDs at that job and never saw one like that again. The security guard next to me verified that it was real.
Wow.
His mannerisms were off, and the way he walked and talked seemed like he was someone pretending to be a human. After he walked off, the security guard and I looked at each other immediately, and we were both like, holy that dude's an alien. When I've tried to look up his ID type online after the fact, I couldn't find anything.
Wow.
There you go. Weird people. You just never know, folks, where these oddities will turn up. And I'm not saying to judge people and to be like all not to be catty or anything like that, but I really think sometimes maybe there's people around that are not quite what they seem.
You think?
Well, don't you? I mean, yeah. I'm not talking about just the normal oddities in people. I'm talking about like some people just sometimes don't look like they belong.
Yeah, they just don't fit in.
Yeah, they're not part of our team really. And maybe they're part of our team in a roundabout way, but here's an interesting one from Phantoms and Monsters I also wanted to bring to you guys because this one was a cool story. And again, this is from January 18th. So a brand new one from Phantoms and Monsters, and definitely check out Phantoms and Monsters, folks. Support what Lon's doing over there. He's working hard, putting this stuff out every day. So definitely
every day.
All right. This one is kind of a cool looking one. Insectoid mantis alien saves Canadian man's life.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a headline you don't hear every day.
So did I tell you about that real quick? Did I tell you about the conversation I had with Ted Lohman? He was the guy who broke the Arizona lights way back when. Anyhow, I was sitting talking with him, and I didn't catch it at the time, but he was telling me about how he had back when he had his show in Arizona. He was telling me about somebody who brought basically a mantis person to his house.
Oh my God.
And that they were having a conversation through these things like laptop computers. This was in 95. And he says they were small laptop style computers. And they were talking, he was talking back and forth with the mantis being across from him. I never caught that when we were talking. It dawned on me like months later. I'm like, he freaking told me that? You gotta be kidding.
How did you miss that?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I have no idea. But yeah, so.
Well,
yeah.
do you remember what he said?
I know, it just that
Like
he
the
said,
context?
No, he didn't really talk about the conversation they had. But it was just, he was just conveying to me how out of the norm this was, and the immensity of having this mantis-like alien something sitting across from you, typing on a tablet or a laptop. Back in 95, they didn't have laptops.
Right.
You know, they had like the Macintosh that, you know, with the Macintosh, they had the keyboard that folded into this big box, right? Because I used to play this flight simulator on one.
Sure.
So they weren't small laptops as we know them.
Right. So it was an actual like mantis.
Mantis being.
Like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know when you get big enough that things like that start happening, but I think that'd be cool, honestly, because you know, it's there to talk. So, I mean, what could you learn? What could you ask? And what information could it give you?
Yeah.
Because obviously your worldview has to change drastically after an experience like that. Like, yeah, no, I'm good.
I can't believe it just went right over my head. I can't either. And now I can't remember the other stuff we talked about.
Wow.
I can't remember anything about
you got brain
that
zapped.
one.
Do you ever remember some guys in suits coming up holding a pen?
Can you look right here for me, please?
Don, will you look over here, please?
This is the swamp gas off Uranus. caused
I don't know.
Hallucinogenic visions.
Well, apparently they're good guys though, because this is a good story.
All right, well, let's go. Yeah, and I got the feeling, now that I think about it, talking with Ted Lohman, that it was okay. Everything was okay when he was talking to this thing. So
wow,
yeah, crazy.
You're gonna have to wait, Mr. Anubis. I know you're all anxious to snuggle, but
bitey earlier.
Yeah, well, that's because you moved him off of his comfy spot. Mm-hmm. He gets pretty protective of his comfy spot. It happened to be Don's chair, so Anubis had decided that was his comfy spot, and Don had to evict him. And he didn't appreciate it a whole lot.
No, not at all.
No. All right, let's get to this article. This is pretty interesting. Insectoid mantis alien saves a Canadian man's life. All right, not the general story. Usually you hear the mantises are kind of the mean ones, don't you?
Well, you know what the females do to the males, right?
Yeah. You know when the males have had a good time. That's all I've heard. Guess who just got lucky?
Not this guy.
All right. A Canadian man is in Georgia Bay, Ontario, Canada, when he observes UFOs in a V formation. He then has an encounter with an insectoid mantis alien that supposedly saves his life. That's incredible. Yeah. A certain event happened to me several years ago, summer of 1970. That's quite a few summers ago.
Yeah.
In the Georgian Bay, Ontario, Canada region. I believe the incident should be told. Other than my immediate family and a couple of close friends, I've never told this story to anyone. I don't blame you. That'd be a tough one to... How do you ever get around to like, hey, did I tell you about the time, the mantis? No. I mean, that's never going to be a natural segue. It was around 2 a.m. and I saw in the northwestern sky 5 objects flying in a V formation towards the southeast. I'll learn to use my tongue again. Hold on. Southeast. I had to tell myself that it was only a dream, but as the objects got closer, I realized that what I was seeing was real. As the objects approached closer to me on the shoreline, I had the most amazing feeling that something or someone was trying to talk to me from them. At this exact moment, a voice or presence spoke clear to me that I was in danger. No exaggeration here. A creature seemed to appear before me as if it was hovering over me. It stood like 8 or 9 feet tall and was exactly in appearance to what other witnesses have described as a praying mantis with large, oily eyes. While this entity spoke to me by thought alone, I felt oddly at ease with it rather than terrified, for it seemed genuinely concerned for me. It told me that I was I was dying of a drug overdose. Oh,
Wow.
well, I might explain the sighting.
Well, yeah, exactly. It explains the oily eyes.
And that I should seek medical help. My mind was totally clear at this moment, with no effects from the recreational drugs I regularly take.
Oh.
I knew that the entity was telling the truth, and I listened. What happened next was incredible. The entity spread out its long insect arms and wrapped them around the back of my head. Uh-oh. And suddenly I felt a jab like a needle in the area of the brain called the medulla. It totally was clear of thought and strong. I don't have any memories of what happened to the entity or the hovering objects. The next thing I knew, I was running from the beach to the highway to hitch a ride to the hospital, where I checked myself into the emergency ward. I had my stomach pumped and remained there for 3 days. My family and friends heard my story and dismissed it, but what happened a short few weeks later had disturbed me since the event. People in the area where I lived began phoning in reports of strange lights appearing over Georgian Bay, flying in V formation. Perhaps a month or so later, there was a report of a local radio of a secret underwater U.S. military base in the Georgian Bay off the shores of Meaford, M-E-A-F-O-R-D, Meaford. An interesting note on this is there is a Canadian military base in Meaford, artillery. For a week or two, this was the talk of the county, with people calling in to the radio station for more info, but the story was never repeated on air and seemed to just fade away. This event is stuck in my head as clear as the day that it happened, and as time goes on, I hear similar stories being recounted by others. Another event that perhaps surpassed this, is what I witnessed over a period of 3 days over the shoe swap on Lake Nipissing 4 years ago, the time I wasn't alone and clear of mind. It can be extremely worrisome to experience these kind of events, and often we feel that nobody else seems to care or understand, but even if 100 UFOs should land on Parliament Hill tomorrow, we all have to get up in the morning, feed ourselves, and carry on with our daily routines. Wow. I no longer fear the unknown and embrace the beauty of this universal plane. Crazy. Oh, it's a pretty nice takeaway.
Right.
I mean, is it possible? Sure, but is it also possible that it was part of a higher part of himself kind of peering through going, oops, this is not going well, or a guardian or something?
Right.
But
like some people talk about, like clockwork elves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or, maybe it was part of the chemical. Right. Maybe it was a tulpa of some part of his super consciousness going, nope, you got to get to the hospital now. This is not going well. I don't know. And I don't want to take away the possibility, but if you're under chemicals, like severely to the point that you need to get medical help, then you probably have to be a little bit, at least questioning what you saw.
Right.
I don't think you can just go, well, that's what I saw. That's what it was. I know what I saw. Because if you're on enough chemicals that you are in danger, then you really can't believe much of what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And believe me, I want this story to be real and on its own merit, but I just don't know that it is exactly as he's relating it. But I believe it was exactly as he experienced it. I just don't know that it was an altogether, alien experience or spiritual or what. I don't know. Maybe a combination, right?
Right. Well, and that might be part of it too. Is what we, maybe they can induce kind of a spiritual aspect to, their meeting. They're meeting their meeting. You know what I'm saying? When we talk, we're meeting. They're
just like we're meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
We're meeting all of you.
Oh my goodness.
Deep in the depths of the paranormal portal.
Deep in the back of Don's head. There's some actual words back there.
Well, there's all kinds of scary things back here, Don.
The dirty, dark depths.
I think this has actually turned into a UFO. I didn't know it was going to be.
Yeah.
And that's good. I love this topic as well.
Ebb and flow.
We haven't really dug a whole lot into the UFO stuff, but I'm here to tell you, I'm a believer. I have no doubt that.
I'm a believer.
Maggie
Maggie says, I took an antihistamine and a sleeping tablet together once. I couldn't string a coherent sentence together. Everyone else was freaked out. I thought it was funny. Yeah, well, you're just slobbering and laughing on yourself. It's one of those things. Not like I've never, I mean, no, I've never done anything like that.
Right. I think that sometimes there is a real blurry intersection where
Right.
UFO meets spiritual, and again, as as has been stated by that gentleman from Lockheed, they apparently can travel somewhat spiritually, and I don't know if it's actually spiritually, but it's probably in phase or out of phase kind of thing.
Right.
Like they can not be physically manifest but aware of this and this plane, but they can travel outside of it.
Sure.
And I think that that's pretty cool. It's certainly, it's plausible to me because I think a lot of this stuff is real nebulous, like Bigfoot's disappearing, people reporting that. And it's hard. It's always hard for me to wrap my head around it just because I don't understand the process of it. But I can never say that it's not possible or I don't believe it.
Right.
It's just I don't understand it. And that's the part where it becomes tricky to navigate. And as a show host, I'm trying, I try to put myself into the experience of the people that are having the experience, and I try to visualize what does that mean or what does that look like. And I don't know, but again, I'll never say nothing that something is not possible.
Right.
It just can be really hard for me to put my head around it. So our what is the difference between spiritual and UFO and cryptozoological? I mean, maybe there isn't much difference. Maybe we're all intertwined into this web of the universe, and it's all absolutely natural. It's just things we don't understand. There's if somebody were to pen a book about what we don't know, it would be way bigger than the book of what we do know.
All right.
We're just figuring things out, folks. Absolutely. Oh, Buzzicino. Hey, how you doing, brother? Kirk Krieger. That's a new name, though, right? Kirk Krieger.
New to me, yeah.
Good to see you, Kirk. Thanks for coming in and checking out the show. Hope you're enjoying it. I think you're a new visitor, and hope you're enjoying the journey. But this is the portal, folks. This is what we do. Sometimes we talk aliens. Sometimes we talk ghosts. Sometimes we talk Bigfoot and Dogman and everything else, cryptid. And sometimes we talk weird phenomena.
And sometimes we just talk and laugh. And
sometimes
kind of lose it.
Sometimes we're just idiots, and that's okay. Usually all on the same episode.
Yeah. He's Kirk, assuming Kirk is a guy's name, says, "I love the show. Thanks, guys."
Oh, very cool, brother. Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
Assuming you're a guy. I mean, I don't know. You could be or couldn't be.
Says newish. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, love you guys. Good. So, that's the takeaway of the show is you never know what you're going to get when you come in here. We're like the box of chocolates.
Sometimes you get
like a box of chocolates.
Sometimes you get truffles. Sometimes you get a pile of poo.
sometimes you get coconut, and that just sucks.
Gosh.
Oh, you love that, Don?
Oh, God,
when you bite into one of those mystery candies and like a mouthful of coconut.
I never knew trees had nuts, but
I always look at the key. If there's a key, it's like, which one is what?
Yeah.
Because I've had some I've bitten into things that I couldn't believe. And it was no fun on those mystery candies.
Yeah,
thing. No.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Time just flew, though, didn't it?
It did, yeah. It's 10 to 9. Wow.
Wow.
So there you go.
It's 8 to 9, actually, according to my clock.
Oh, well, pardon me.
Well, I don't know. It's just you're on Don time. It's a different time zone.
Wow.
So, to the winners of our last giveaway, as Don alluded to.
Who was the other winner? So there was
Ruger, and I don't remember the name that they used, but it was a chat name, but I got the real name written here.
That's fun.
Yeah, but both of you, the coffee mug winner, and then Ruger, the T-shirt winner, we finally got it so that we can get them.
Well, we'll be getting them to you by Christmas.
No, they'll be here long before Christmas.
Well, maybe St. Patrick's Day.
4th of July? I don't know. No, it should be in the next several weeks. So
should
be patient, though, because we haven't forgotten.
We're taking donations on how to get postage faster.
No, we're not.
You might not be.
Well.
Send that to Don Longbeard, P.O. Box 227, Kootenai, Idaho.
You shameless bastard.
838-454.
All right, folks. Let's see. What are we going to do with the last couple minutes here? I gotta see what we got. I guess we can go back to
Maggie, you have a T-shirt? What T-shirt did you get? Did you get the rocker or did you get which one? Which one? Did you get the main?
Say, we got to do a T-shirt that just says Paranormal Portal on it, right across the breast. Like, we've had several requests in the past for just that.
Oh yeah, just the old style one,
Yeah.
like the hoodie you got over there, right?
Yes,
Oh,
yep,
okay.
exactly.
All right.
So
All
we're
right.
going to be developing that again, folks. If you want just a shirt that says Paranormal Portal, that's a possibility as well. And we are open to suggestions. If you have an idea for another design that you think would be cool, let us know, and we'll take it under advisement. That's always an option.
Maggie, yeah, it's, shipping. I know. I shipped something to our buddy Cade over there, and it was, as a matter of fact, it was a beanie, and it was extremely expensive.
Speaking of that, I also got to get some rocker shirts for Sarah and for Gary. Sarah
Oh
and
yes,
Gary.
Sarah Bignell
Yep.
and
Yep.
yeah, Gary. Yeah,
We've been locked out of our own Teespring for a long time, but we've just
we have control.
we have control once again of the mothership, folks. So those will be coming as soon as we can get them there. And
The one on the banner, yes, we actually have the banner shirt. The banner shirt's in the Teespring.
let's go to
But-
Teespring. I'll just pull it up
yeah.
on screen and everybody can see it. Hold on a sec. Let me pull it up here.
Hats are a little different. I would love to have hats, but unfortunately, the company we go through, well, I'll have to work on it. But anyhow,
Yeah, Don's going to work on it. But here's the Teespring site.
were you
folks.
guys at the Medellin Falls Bigfoot deal? Yes, we actually were. Yeah, we were on stage with the speakers in the main.
in the auditorium there.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Inside the building, we were in there.
Heather says I discovered you guys in Medellin Falls. Awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool, Heather.
That was the Bigfoot Town Hall. That was 2 years ago.
Oh, really? The Bigfoot Town Hall. Oh, very cool. Yeah, you would have seen us there. Yeah, we were there, and we were there last year as well when it was the whole community.
When Bob was there and Tom Cantrell. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you
Yes.
there last year as well, Heather? Or were you just at the town hall? Let us know.
Paranoid Portal.
What?
That's a shirt for the stoners in the crowd. Yeah, Paranoid Portal.
Oh, so here's the gear that we have available so far. There's the Black Eyed Kids, Let Me In. There's a pyramid with a UFO over it. There's the oval design.
Yeah, that's the original
The traditional,
one,
but then there used to have a one that just had the Paranormal Portal across the chest plate. Here's the rocker shirts that Don is talking about. On the front, there's an insignia, and then on the back is the rocker design that he came up with. That's Don's work right there, folks. So if you like the rocker design, that's all Longbeard inspired. But well done. And
there's the Portal podcast.
oh yeah, this is the Portal podcast. If you're a listener of the podcast, there's the Portal podcast. That was a logo I made up a long time ago, and never used it for the podcast itself. But Don thought it would be a good T-shirt.
I think
so.
it's great. I think it's a great one.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Thank you much. And then there's the Gators and the.
The masks.
Oh,
and
that's-
all that.
that's-
Yeah, that's the banner. Yeah, that's the banner. Right
Yeah,
there.
the banner shirts are here. Yep. So and the banner mask and the Portal podcast, 100% paranormal shirt. That's my design. I don't think we sold any of those though. Have we done?
We gave one away.
So my designs suck, just for the record. But Don's are pretty solid.
Well, and don't forget these are by T-Fetch.
Yeah,
So these are
T-Fetch,
by
our buddy
T-Fetch.
at tfetch.com. Go check him out. He made a few designs for us, the alien grays
Right.
in the
I really
beam.
like that gator. Scroll up just a little bit. That gator right there.
Oh yeah, with the aliens.
The aliens, yeah, the grays, yeah.
The grays, yep. So there's lots of options here for you folks. If you're hankering for some that is not underwear, just for the record. So
It's a cod piece.
looks like a Speedo. Let me in. Little ugly face. That is a mouthpiece. Mask.
Yeah, it's a mouthpiece, all right. That's kind of odd, yeah. So you put that mask on, it looks like there's a kid.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, like you're opening your. You should have drew lips on the outside, but like, as inside the mouth.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the fun. So this is over at teespring.com. Well, it's paranormal-portal.creator-spring.com. I don't know. The link is in the description of the show.
Yeah,
So.
Heather, definitely. If we expect to be at the next Medellin Falls event, I'm pretty sure we will.
Yeah, if it's being run by the same people, I'm sure we'll be there.
And
And
we
if it's
don't-
not, we may show up.
we're wanted. People want us in Medellin Falls for some reason.
We loved it. We had a
yeah, it was
blast
great.
there. They
Loved
did
it.
a
Loved
brilliant
being there.
job. The town hall was incredible,
Yes.
but the next year was even more epic. The whole community got involved. It was just a phenomenal time. We were absolutely honored to be a part of that. So, yeah, we'd love to meet anybody that happens to be in the neighborhood if we are there.
Yep.
And-
Maggie says she has the hoodie with the Mayan pyramid.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Right.
Send a picture of you wearing it over to the email, will you please? I'd love to put that
Or
in my...
post it on Paranormal Portal's fans page.
Yeah, you could post it on the Paranormal Portal fans as well. So anyway, folks, that's about going to wrap up our journey for tonight. But this is our Teespring site. You'll see the link in the description underneath the show. Please hit the like button before you leave. We'd love to have you leave your imprint that you were here.
Oh, so Android Purity says, I feel like people will want to let their tongue in your... Oh, no, okay, no, I'm not going to finish reading that. Because I'll make it sound really bad.
Let's just stop there and stay monetized, shall we?
So actually, I did have this picture of my beard on a mask. It didn't look like a beard.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
When it folded right here, it didn't look like a beard.
No, it didn't. Nope. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude our journey into the portal for tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of it. We love you all. Don, anything in closing?
No, that's about all I got.
That's all Don's got, which is probably good
Probably.
at this point. But anyway, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day. And remember to laugh as much as you can. And we'll be back on Friday night and Saturday night here on the YouTube channel, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Definitely hope to see you guys.
I believe I'm planning to be here Friday night.
Friday night with Don, Saturday with Sheldon. So spread the word. Let other people know, please.
Absolutely.
Share these videos to your social media. We'd love to have more people involved. All right, guys. That's it for us. Good night.
Good night.
Cue the credits.